to maintain clean and healthy environment across the state. Anambra Abga State Chairman Obi urges residents to support Governor Soludo's sanitation initiatives. Federal government asks Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority to develop carbon market activation plan. World Health Organization calls for increased manpower in health sector to tackle shortage. Before the news in detail, here's a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good morning and welcome to the news. My name is Uchechukwu Ebonam. Anambra State Deputy Governor Dr. Onyeka Ibezim says the state government will not hesitate to terminate the appointment of any incompetent waste evacuation contractor in the state. Deputy Governor Ibezim stated this during a meeting with waste evacuation contractors and transition committee chairmen from across the state at Government House in Oka. Government House correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo reports.
The Deputy Governor, who restated the commitment of the Soludo government towards achieving clean, green and sustainable state from the Anambra in no distant time, said that the Soludo administration will not allow anything that will truncate the vision. Dr. Ibezim mandated the waste evacuation contractors to evacuate the waste on daily basis, pointing out that such will fast-track the actualization of the clean, green and sustainable Anambra initiative. Deputy Governor Ibezim, while promising that the Soludo government will provide the contractors with all the necessary support, including prompt payment of their salaries, asked Transition Committee chairmen across the state to partner the contractors and as well monitor their activities in their areas for optimum results.
The contractors. Okay, I need your committee. What terms of reference? If I didn't which of I change here, didn't let the Bible. Kaimal, why we can't get Anambra cleaned up and sustained? In simple terms, I hear Bidogo, they go Bukota, Sakamori is being the same thing,
On his part, the State Commissioner for Environment, Mr. Felix Odimegu, said that the contractors must be alive to their responsibilities and make the waste evacuation more frequent to save the state from dirty environment and infectious diseases, as well as save their jobs. Commissioner Odimegu, who noted that the Professor Soludo administration will do all it takes to avoid preventable environmental havoc in the state, especially flooding, revealed that the state government has, through his ministry, concluded plans to inculcate cleanliness culture in the state's residents, especially through improved sensitization programs on environment and enforcement of environmental laws, even as he encouraged all in the Anambra to support the cleanliness vision for the good of all.
The idea is to sustain what Governor has flagged off on Friday, to deseal the drainages and make them free of any encumbrance. Looking at the NIMET prediction of rainfall for this year, there is going to be massive density. In order to not be caught in the bud, you understand, we've decided to try as much as possible to clear the drainages and reduce the incidence of flooding.
The Transition Committee Chairman for Olumba South Council Area, Chief Sunday Uchendo, commended the interest shown by the state government in ensuring that all parts of the state are clean and healthy, assuring that the TC chairmen will play their parts to ensure that the vision is actualized, especially as it concerns monitoring of the activities of the contractors and supporting them when necessary. The contractors were during the meeting offered the opportunity to air their views on challenges they face in the areas of their assignments and where they need assistance from the state government for optimal results. From Government House in Oka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo reporting for ABS News.
The Anambra State Ministry of Education is to collaborate with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in the fight against drug abuse in Anambra State. The Commissioner for Education, Professor Ngozi Chumode, said this while playing host to the new Anambra State Commander of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Dr. Daniel Onyishi, who was in her office on a courtesy visit. Professor Chumode, who lamented the involvement of women and children in the drug abuse, warned that the society will be more easily destroyed by destroying women and children, especially through drug abuse. The new Anambra State NDLEA commander, Mr. Onyishi, who is the commander of narcotics, said that he was at the commissioner's office to seek the collaboration of the Education Ministry in the demand reduction aspect of the fight against drug abuse. Mr. Onyishi opined that early inculcation of healthy habit of abstaining from drugs will help forestall the involvement of young ones who were yet to test drugs, and therefore solicited the support of the Education Commissioner for the use of schools as platform for the achievement of the desired goal. Meanwhile, the 2023 Transition Placement Examination has been concluded in Anambra State with the successful conduct of the receipt examination authored by the Commissioner for Education, Professor Ngozi Chumaude at Umuogwali Community Primary School Center, Oba. It will be recalled that Commissioner for Education, Professor Chumaude, directed for a receipt from the examination at the center following a report of examination malpractice. The acting director and chief registrar of the Anambra State Ministry of Education's Examination Development Center, Mrs. Stella Okato, who led a high-powered delegation of the ministry, conducted the examination on behalf of the Commissioner, Professor Chumaude. Mrs. Okato reported that the examination, which took place in a very orderly and credible manner, was witnessed by the area education officer in Idemili South, the officer in charge of Idemili South Education Authority, and members of Private Schools Association in the area. The state chairman of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, Abgar Sanabat Obi, has urged residents of the state to key into Governor Chuma Soludo's Clean, Green, Sustainable Anambra initiative to maintain a healthy environment. Speaking in Awka, Sanabat said the protection of the environment is a collective responsibility of the government and the people. Paul Isoke has details.
Sanabat said Governor Soludo's vision will improve the living standards of the people and reduce the burden of illness and cost of seeking treatment in hospitals. He enjoined the people to avoid indiscriminate dumping of waste, maintain regular desilting of drainages, avoid incessant cutting of trees without replacement, and plant flowers around their compounds to improve the aesthetics and quality of air. The Abga State chairman urged leadership of various markets in the state to cooperate with various government agencies to maintain clean and hygienic environment, as well as prevent treading on roads to ensure free flow of traffic and safety of life and property. He expressed satisfaction that Governor Soludo is fulfilling promises made to Anambra and has so far justified the confidence reposed in him. Also speaking, a community leader, Chief Christopher Bala, commended the governor for the achievements recorded so far and noted that the ongoing massive road construction is opening up different parts of the state and will increase the tempo of socio-economic activities. Chief Abala enjoined communities to take ownership of government projects and protect them from abuse. In Awka, Paul Ezoke, ABS News.
The Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, has directed the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority to develop the country's first carbon market activation plan and drive engagement on the plan. Vice President Osinbajo also urged that Africa could become the first truly green civilization given its status as the lowest carbon emitter and its relatively young population, and could effectively deploy green manufacturing at scale. Senior Special Assistant to the Vice President of Media and Publicity, Lao Luakonde, disclosed this in a statement titled "Africa can become first truly green civilization." Osinbajo. The CV is an initiative to support Nigeria in making its net zero targets by investing in carbon avoidance and removal projects. The Vice President said Africa can become the first truly green civilization, the first civilization on earth to use renewable fuel for purposes of transformative economic journey. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority says it is ready to amend regulation for the advancement of civil aviation in Nigeria. The NCAA National Director General, Captain Musa Nuhu, said this at stakeholders' consultation on the proposed amendment to the Nigerian Civil Aviation Regulations in Abuja. Nuhu said the regulation would improve matters pertinent to aviation and reposition the stance of qualified stakeholders. The need for governments to prioritize investment in education, skills and decent jobs for health to meet the rapidly growing demand for medics and avert a projected shortage of 10 million health workers by 2030. In a statement issued ahead of its 75th anniversary on April 7, the organization called on governments and leaders to take action to protect and invest in health workers and other caregivers who are the forefront of the response to health and climate emergencies. WHO also called for a new drive for healthy equity in face of unprecedented threats. The global health body said over the past 7.5 decades, there had been extraordinary progress in protecting people from diseases and destruction, including smallpox eradication, reducing the incidence of polio by 99%, saving millions of lives through childhood immunization, declines in maternal mortality, and improving health and well-being for millions more. According to the Director General of WHO, Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, the history of WHO demonstrates what is possible when nations come together for a common purpose. To meet the challenges, WHO urges countries to take urgent action to protect, support and expand the health workforce as a strategic priority. From the world of sports, the federal government has officially approved the recognition of mixed martial arts as one of the National Sports Federation under the control and supervision of the Ministry of Sports and Youth Development. Minister of Sports and Youth Development, Sunday Dare, disclosed this in his office in Abuja, saying that approval, which was granted on January 11, 2023, follows a series of interfaces between the Federation's board and the ministry and satisfied the condition precedent pursuant to NMAF's acceptance to abide by the Code of Governance of all national sports. While calling on the Federation to work towards discovering and developing talents from the grassroots, Dare urged them to take the game to a world-class status, not only through the development and maintenance of strict rules, but also adhering strictly to its standards. Mixed martial arts is reputed to be one of the world's fastest growing sports, with an estimated 449 million followers worldwide. What could have been a moment of mourning for the demise of the late Archbishop Dr. Ephraim Ndife turned into a crusade of sorts and soul winning into the kingdom of God, reflecting the kind of life lived by Archbishop when he was alive. Correspondent Amaka Chibuzo-Koye tells us more.
Archbishop Ndife, who was the founder and general overseer of Holy Ghost Ministries Incorporated Nigeria, committed his life to evangelism and building the faith of believers. He served as chairman, Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN) and Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria (PFN) Anambra State chapters. The journey to eternity for the late Archbishop Ndife started with a special service at the Holy Ghost Cathedral, Ngozika Housing Estate, Oka. The event drew archbishops and bishops from the PFN, sister churches, top government officials, the traditional ruler of Oka, Obi Gibson Nwosu, represented by his cabinet members, clergymen, families, friends, and well-wishers. Testimonies of how the deceased lived his life and impacted the lives of others filled the special service, as many witnessed to his spiritual guidance, philanthropy, and mentorship. They also testified that he was a great asset who inspired progress made by Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN) and PFN Ife in seeing that the gospel of Christ gets to the nooks and crannies of Anambra State. In a message at the event, the President, Pentecostal Bishops Association of Anambra State, Bishop Augustine Nwodika, said that such events provide sympathizers the opportunity to reassess their lives and to think about where they will spend eternity. Bishop Nwodika challenged the congregation to learn from the life and legacies of the deceased.
Ephraim was a good man. Ephraim was like Barnabas in the Bible. The Bible called him a good man, a son of consolation. That's different from you. Very humble. It's a stammerer who's supposed to be easily angry, but was not. Was good.
Speaking on behalf of the clergy of Holy Ghost Ministries, Reverend Ejike Abana narrated how impactful Archbishop Ndife was on members of the church, but explained that they take solace in the fact that we meet him in the resurrection morning.
Whoever that died a believer on that glorious morning. And that is our confidence that we as Holy Ghost Ministries, we as believers, we are very, very confident that we meet our daddy, the Archbishop, on that glorious morning. That is our only confidence, and that is the mystery of death.
Speaking shortly after late Archbishop Ndife was interred, his first daughter, Barrister Christy Ndife, said his father brought them up in Christian values and precepts.
Taught me how to pray, fast, evangelize, give, be industrious, and every good thing you can talk about. He's a man of unity. He's a man of forgiveness. Hold on to the unity he left for us, to the love and to the forgiveness and everything.
Bishop Charles Uchenna, on behalf of the association, presented the garments, stole, and staff of late Archbishop Ndife to his son, Reverend Ephraim Ndife Jr., to take over as the General Superintendent of Holy Ghost Ministries. Responding, Reverend Ephraim Ndife Jr. prayed God for the grace to continue where his father stopped, calling on the family members and the church to support him in prayers, noting that indeed their father left a vacuum hard to fill. Late Archbishop Ndife died at the age of 78. Special rendition by the choir, interment and other side attractions featured at the burial service. Amaka Chibuzokoye, ABS News.
Remember that you can follow news and program on ABS TV from any parts of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. You can go on to subscribe to our YouTube channel at ABS Television Oka. Follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now the main points that made the news again this morning. Anambra State government has restated resolve to maintain clean and healthy environment across the state. Anambra Abga State Chairman Obi has urged residents to support Governor Soludo's sanitation initiatives. Federal government has asked Nigeria's Sovereign Investment Authority to develop carbon market activation plan. And finally, World Health Organization has called for increase in manpower in health sector to tackle shortage. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. That's all in the news this morning. My name is Uche Chukwu Ibonam. Be good.